Hola chicos, hoy vamos a hablar sobre construcciones con C. Um, Constructions with C are used to form general statements or even to come up with rules. So let's look at how they work, okay? So also constructions with C are known as voz pasiva, passive voice. How do we construct this passive voice? Okay, we're gonna look at two forms for this grammar point. So the first form is se plus a verb. Notice that it has él and ellos, meaning that we're only gonna conjugate the verb in two forms. The él, ellos, ustedes, and the ellos, ellas. De él, ella, perdón, usted, y ellos, ellas, ustedes. Meaning that we're gonna have both singular and plural. Okay, let's look at our examples. First example, se habla español. Se habla español. Spanish, it's spoken. As you can see, it's a very general statement. It's not for anyone in particular. How do we accomplish that general part of it? We don't have an agent. We don't have an él or ella habla español, o Nancy habla español, o el presidente habla español, o la profesora. Yeah, we eliminate that agent by using se instead. Oh boy, this thing. Use se and se. See? We make it general statement. Se habla español. Also, let's look at another thing. We have our verb hablar, right? And then what's our direct object? Remember, our direct object is what's being affected directly by the action or the verb. So hablar is our verb or action. What it's spoken? Español. So español is our subject. It becomes the subject of the sentence. So español, the language español, is one. That's why hablar, it's habla, singular. The verb is gonna agree with our subject or direct object that becomes the subject. Let's look at our next sentences. Se venden los libros. What's our action? Vender, to sell. How do we find out what our direct object is? We ask ourselves, what is being affected by the action? What's being sold? Muy bien, los libros. Again, we have to look at whether our subject is singular or plural. Is it singular or is it plural? Muy bien, plural. That's why we use the ellos, ellas, ustedes form. Se venden los libros. So let's review again, following these rules. It does not have an agent. Yeah, we don't have a pronoun or a person or an object specific to this. It is very general. Books are sold. Spanish is spoken. It's general. It's not meant for anyone in particular. Has an explicit subject. Remember, our direct objects become our subjects. So español and libros, we know what's being spoken and we know what's being sold. So yeah, it's very explicit subject. The subject can be a noun or a clause. In this case, we have nouns and an object here. 5, the verb agrees with the subject. Habla, singular, since español is one. Venden, plural, since los libros are one. Like I mentioned before, we can use this construction to form rules. Por ejemplo, no se come en clase. No se. We're making a negative sentence, a negative rule. Se come en clase. For whom is it meant? It's in general for every single student or every single person that is in the class. We don't know who is it going to be, the principal visiting, the teacher. Whoever is in that class, it's not meant to be eating. So no se come en clase. And again, look at our verb. What's our verb here? Muy bien, comer. En clase, in class. Singular o plural? Singular. We use come. Okay. Let's continue. Also, when we have probably one of the things that you could do is to take a voz activa action when we have a clear agent that is performing that action into a passive voice sentence. So let's look at this. Well, we are missing here our agent. So here we go. El presidente aprueba la ley. Aprueba comes from the verb aprobar, to approve. La ley, leyes. This, what's our action or verb in here? Aprobar. What's being approved or direct object? La ley. And then who is our agent? Who is the one making that approval or indirect object? El presidente. So to make it a general statement, we have to get rid of that agent. El presidente. To make it a general statement. Remember, we do it by having se instead of a direct agent. So se aprueba la ley. Again, la ley, is it plural or is it singular? Muy bien, es la ley, the law, that one law. Therefore, aprueba is singular as well. Recomienda estudiar todos los días. Oh, we're missing the agent again. I'm sorry. El profesor. El profesor recomienda estudiar todos los días. Muy bien. So again, which one is our agent? El profesor, because he is the one making the recommendation. What's our verb or our action? Recomienda. And what's our direct object? What's being recommended? So, estudiar todos los días. Estudiar is one action. Therefore, our recommendation or verb recomienda, it's going to be singular. But how do we make this into a construction with se, a voz pasiva sentence? Again, we get rid of our agent, el profesor. We get rid of the agent, but we use se. Then the verb, recomienda. And then our subject, estudiar todos los días. Let's make this first one plural sentence so you can see the difference. El presidente aprueba las leyes. So again, what's our action or verb? Las leyes, approve, to approve. What's our direct object? What's being approved? Las leyes. And then our agent, el presidente. So we're going to make it a construction with se. Means that we're going to make it general. Non-specific to anyone. So we get rid of our agent. We switch it by se. Se. Then look at the verb. There, it's singular. Because in an active voice, your verb agrees with your agent. In a passive voice, your verb agrees with your subject, which is your direct object, becomes the subject. So, las leyes, your direct object, is plural or singular? Muy bien, es plural. Therefore, your verb has to be plural too. Se aprueban las leyes. Se aprueban las leyes versus se aprueba la ley. Again, it's all about your subject. That's what determines whether it's going to be a singular or plural. Okay. We also have the construction of se used to talk about unplanned events or when accidents happen. We use the se construction just to take or to de-emphasize the blame or the fault of the person who did the action and make it all about the action and not who did the action. Okay? So the construction, we have it right here. We have se, indirect objects, verb, and subject. So se, it's just se. Who can remember which one are the indirect object pronouns? Okay, so indirect objects. We have me, we have te, we have le, we have nos, we have os, and, muy bien, les. Then our verb, again, the verb can only be conjugated in two forms, the él, ella, usted, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes. And they're the subject of the sentence. So let's look at our first example. Por ejemplo, vamos a usar otro color. Se me olvidaron las llaves. Se me olvidaron. The indirect object pronoun is used to indicate who did the action. So olvidaron, let's look over here, olvidar, to forget. This is what we're using, to forget. Olvidaron. Who forgot according to this? Me, because that's our indirect object. Olvidaron las llaves. What's our action or verb here again? Olvidar, to forget. And remember that our subject is the same as our direct object. So, and the direct object is what's being affected by that action or verb. So, what's being affected by the action? To forget. What was forgotten? Muy bien, las llaves, the keys. So, las llaves, plural. Olvidaron, plural. Se me olvidaron las llaves. So again, this construction is used to talk about unplanned events, unforeseen situations. And we use it, also, these are the common verbs. We use it with these common verbs. Caer, to fall, to drop. Let's use that one for an example. Se le cayó el computador. To caer. But who did this fell off? Okay, so let's review it. Let's start with the action. What's the action? Cayó, caer, to fall, to drop. Okay? What was being dropped, or subject? Subject. Muy bien, el computador. Our indirect object pronoun is le. What does le mean in terms of what is it telling us of the sentence? Who did the action? Who let something fall or who dropped something? Le, meaning it could be he, she, or you, él, ella, o usted. So in those cases, we can make it a little more specific. A mi ma se le cayó el computador. So although this might seem like a specific agent, it just helps specify who was the one that did the action, just because le can be either ella, él, or usted, and les can be either ellos, ellas, or ustedes. So we might want to be more specific about who was the one that dropped the computer. So, se le cayó el computador. We still continue with the se plus the indirect object plus the verb plus the subject. Let's look at other verbs. Dañar, to damage, to break. Olvidar, that we use to forget. Perder, to lose. So let's use the same key example. Se te perdieron las llaves. Oh, well, let's make it singular in this case. La llave. What's our action or verb? Verb. Perder, to lose, right? What's our direct object? That becomes our subject. La llave. La llave is singular o plural? Muy bien, singular. Therefore, we have a mistake. Se te perdió la llave. Should be a real sentence. Let's do that and then erase this one that it's wrong. Muy bien. Entonces, we have our action, perder, la llave, that agree in number, singular, both. Who did the action? Who lost the key? Muy bien. Tú, because it's te. So you lost the keys. Se just makes it something unplanned. Okay, chicos. If you have questions, please just add them to the discussion board or email me. Remember that there are also tutors if you need their help. Please do not wait until the test, and you guys are doing a great job, and I really want to encourage you to seek help anytime you need it. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate. Also, for the activities, some are in the notas, in your notes, but also are the same ones as the ones that you have to turn in, since we're not going to have conjuguemos for this grammar point. Okay, chao, que estén bien.